Welcome to Vetted Conversations. Our mission is to ensure that you, the listener, gain the knowledge and insights alongside us, your veteran and military family member hosts, to become more informed and engaged citizens.
Today I'm talking to BJ Ganem from Sierra Delta about his plan to give a dog to every veteran in need.
BJ, good to have you here, man.
Man, thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
By the way.
Right, you're a Marine?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
But also, what's the BJ stand for?
So my full name is William Joseph Ganem. My mom wanted to call me Billy Joe when I was younger. I'm from Savannah, Georgia.
There you go.
Thankfully, an aunt started calling me BJ. It stuck. It was easy to spell in kindergarten.
Yeah.
You know, little did I know, by the time I got to 5th grade, I'd be fighting a lot. That's how you get this crooked nose. And then I just started owning it, right? So it's fun. It's a great icebreaker, right? Everybody wants to know. And of course, there's always a few that have some dirty jokes about it.
What? Well, so I'm Benjamin John.
Okay, all right.
And there was a brief period of time that my parents thought that might be a good idea, but I think I was old enough to know that maybe it was.
Okay, see? You were probably qualified to go to the Air Force, too.
Most likely, most likely. But chose not.
Chose not, yeah.
So tell us about the Marine Corps. What'd you do?
So I'm infantry, right?
Yeah.
So I joined in 1996 after being politely asked not to come back to Georgia Southern University, posting a 1.3 GPA on the Hope Scholarship. So, I really didn't want to get a job. Yeah, I just wanted to travel the world and fight. And the only people offering that was United States Marine Corps. So I planned the whole experience around being out of boot camp in time for St. Patrick's Day in Savannah. Huge party. So I missed Christmas, New Year's, all the Super Bowl, all that stuff. Had my 10 days Liberty party like you couldn't believe. Come back to Savannah and kiss my mom goodbye, head up to Camp Lejeune, and that's when it dawned on me, like, oh, I got 4 years. So
you're in this now.
Well, one of the best decisions I ever made. I got off active duty in 2000, but stayed in the Ready Reserves in Madison, Wisconsin with Golf Company 224.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also infantry.
Yeah, also infantry.
Right.
And it was great because I got to train with these guys. The majority of them were all from Wisconsin. And so we're still tight. We just celebrated 20 years. From being in Iraq, and it's just crazy to say that. Like, when were you over?
2003.
Okay.
Very beginning.
Very beginning, yeah. So we were supposed to go in 3, but Turkey shut their borders, and so we got pinched until 2004.
I see.
And then, but yeah, I knew a lot of guys that were on the initial invasion too, and all that.
Well, so I actually landed in a commercial aircraft in Kuwait the day the bombs started dropping.
Oh, right on.
So we were slightly behind it all, but nevertheless.
Kuwait's wild, right? Because it's like being on the sun. It's just so flat.
It's
bright,
a moon.
It's like a moon. Yeah.
Torturous. I still have nightmares. When I got back, I remember not liking the beach.
Yeah.
Because it was too much.
Yeah, right.
Reminded me of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so tell us the story about what led you to founding Sierra Delta.
So I got injured Thanksgiving night of 2004, like my 13th IED I went to, really damaged my left leg, my right leg, some other retained shrapnel. Luckily, it's fine. My gunner, Ryan Catafio from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, was killed, instantly. Just took shrapnel right to the jugular above his neck guard.
Yeah.
Nothing we could do. There was a small ambush afterwards. The unit held it brilliantly. They got me out of there back to Mahmudia and then through, Lutafia, Balad into Longstool, over to DC. And what really irked me, what really bothered me is that I wasn't going to finish the deployment. And coming back, there was a lot of love. That's when I first met President Bush, and he ended up painting me in the Portraits of Courage later. Meeting a lot of these celebrities then. And when I get home, I'm glad to be home, right? Like, I'm glad to be home, but I'm also feeling less than.
Yeah.
And wasn't completely ready to be done with the Marine Corps, but wasn't going to stay in and be a desk jockey, right? So, like, if I can't be an infantryman, there's no reason in being a Marine.
I know the feeling. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So get out, do all the stereotypical things, right? Get in trouble with the law, drinking too much, fights, end up going through a bad divorce, a bankruptcy, facing DUI charges. And I just figured, man, it should have been better if I would have died that night. And so I'm rationalizing all this stuff away in that depressive mindset. I get to my dog, which is an old English bulldog that I bought on my first convalescent leave from Walter Reed. Bought it through Craigslist, 800 bucks, about all I could afford. No special breeding, no special training, no real special talents other than getting slobber in places you thought was physically impossible to get slobber into.
Yeah.
And like clearing the room with his farts, right? And
can he skateboard though?
right. No, he couldn't. But he could ride. So one of his favorite things to do was to go to McDonald's drive-thru and get cheeseburgers, and he'd be in the front seat just foaming at the mouth. And then literally I'd take it out, be piping hot, and just gone. Just ate it. But anyways, no good tricks like riding skateboard.
We would take our dog to Starbucks for a puppuccino.
Yeah.
She'd start barking at the lady.
Yeah.
Hand it over.
They know when it's coming. Yeah. So he was the one thing I couldn't rationalize away, because if I quit, if I check out, he's going to end up in a shelter and be euthanized like the other 800,000 healthy, trainable, and adoptable dogs we kill every year.
Yeah.
And so that was enough impetus, enough purpose for me to pull my own head out of my ass. And I came up with a good foot mentality, which is no matter what foot was bearing the weight of my life, whether it was the carbon fiber and steel given me by science or the flesh and blood foot given me by God, I was going to be able to handle it. We're going to figure it out.
You got to explain the double entendre there for the folks who don't know what the good foot mentality kind of, how that resonates with us Marines from the cadence.
That's right. The left foot is the good foot. It's funny that I lost the left foot, right?
but nevertheless, when you're marching and you're doing that cadence, and you hear them talking, it's good foot.
Yeah.
That resonates with the Marines.
It does. And again, it was a James Brown song that I always loved growing up. Get on the good foot. I got a funky job and I'm paying the bills on the good foot. So again, there's a lot to it. And we all do. Like, hey, we're going to fall down. We're going to fail, right? We just need to get back up and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And like the Marines taught us, right? Everything's on that left foot. Stay in time, and it's the good foot. So eventually, I quit the job at Kraft Foods. I no longer want to climb the corporate ladder. I stopped chasing a business degree. I've got like a few credits left. I switch. I get an undergrad in psychology.
Okay.
I get a master's in social work with an emphasis on military life for the University of Southern California. I go on to become an accredited Veterans Benefit Officer. I'm running Madison, Wisconsin, like the County Veteran Service Office, helping to file claims, but just really disenfranchised in how the government system works. Left that after a couple of years and joined up with Semper Fi Fund.
Yeah,
worked in the V2V program for a while and helped stand up a lot of programs, and they've been great. I've known them from the beginning. When I first got injured, I was accidentally put on the kill roster, and it took them 3.5 months to fix it. So they stopped my pay immediately. If it wasn't for the Semper Fi Fund, they paid my mortgage, they paid all the bills back home.
Clerical error.
And it never asked any of it back. So they're a phenomenal organization too. There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
But then I'm doing a lot of speaking. I'm talking about I'm seeing the systems, the way we're delivering services to the veterans is actually causing more harm than good.
Sure.
Because we've segmented everybody. We are making them prove that they actually have a need versus just meeting them where they're at and helping them understand that they still have strengths.
Yeah. This was around what year or two?
This is 2017 by the time that I step out from Semper Fi Fund and start Sierra Delta. And the whole premise was we're going to focus on dogs because I was noticing how many veterans had dogs, right? Whether they're old veterans, young veterans, and it was really resonating. By this time, between group therapy, between hosting group therapies, between just doing veteran events, between veteran counseling benefits, I've worked over 25,000 vets and feel like I've got a good pulse.
That's a good sample size.
Right.
It is. And if you notice kind of what their needs are, and you're seeing the ones who have dogs, how they have different challenges, but some of them are taken care of.
Right.
I get it.
Right. So it's do I have a collegiate study on it? No, it's more intuition.
Yeah.
Right. But it makes sense. And so when I first started out, we were focused on the service dogs because I was looking at all the literature and I thought there was something more spectacular about it. But when you see blind and deaf people aren't using dogs as much anymore because of the technological advances,
right? You
understand that an industry switched to the veterans without really checking in with us to see what we needed.
Okay, that's
what I'm saying. So they're pre-training these dogs and taking 2-3 years of doing $50,000 a dog to give the veterans. When if you do it that way, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that we're withholding 80% of the medicine from 99% of the population because the majority of us don't need that ADA medical
overkill.
assistant dog, right?
Yeah.
And if we work with trainers, we're getting service dog. They're passing the test with veterans that are working with trainers. So, and that's costing us $3,500. You see what I mean? So, like, if we invest in the veterans, we remind them, hey, what were we taught? Improvise, adapt, overcome. You're a leader.
15-to-1 efficiency almost.
Right.
Yeah.
You're a leader. We're going to bring in the professional to help you understand how to connect with this dog, but it's going to be you. And we're going to hold each other accountable through having fun.
That's great.
Right. And again, all veterans can come in. The only thing holding me back is if we run out of money for that quarter. But this quarter, we're doing 60. I've already done 20 in the month of January. You know, we're going to do another 40 before the quarter's out, another 60 in quarter 2, and 90 in quarter 3, 90 in quarter 4. However, being here in Super Bowl, I'm out here spreading this message. If we can get more people to donate at SierraDelta.com, we can go faster, because all we're doing is coaching the veterans on how to vet and find a local trainer. 60, like we already said, 2/3 of them already have a dog, so we don't need to find a dog. Right? If we do, we have Pup Finder, where people, if they want to donate one of their breeds, or if people want to tell you what's in their shelter, like, we can show it. So it's a full digital platform.
That's amazing.
But it's under lock and key with ID Me, so only the veterans can get in.
I love that.
Wait, but it's all veterans. Like, so get with it. If you don't like anybody, just get into a different group.
And
you know,
you probably want the message to go out that you don't have to be approved by the VA.
No,
or anything like that.
I surveyed all the major medical colleges in this country. You know how many are teaching doctors when to prescribe a dog?
None.
0.
Yeah.
So why is that even a thing? We already have HIPAA. This has nothing to do with disabilities. It's about the training. Because when they passed the PAWS Act and made mental health the reason to have a service dog, then you knocked off the left and right lateral limits to this whole thing. Because how are you going to say who's got more mental health issues than this person to have a trained dog?
Sure.
Right? But why don't we are capable individuals still after service. So why aren't we just sitting down with a veteran and be like, hey, what do you want from a dog? So we got people training for agility, for hunting, shed hunting, mushroom hunting, bird hunting. You got people doing dock diving and agility courses and some service work. Most of it is just, they just want a really good dog, right? To run with, to go on hikes with, to go with.
Right, man. It really does increase your activity generally too. If you feel like you're sedentary, your dog's not going to let you get away with that. Most of them.
Right? And if you want the training to stick, you got to keep doing it. It doesn't matter if you send us. So that's what we saw in the beginning. We were following all these traditional ways of sending the dog to the kennel. And now it's in a controlled environment working with a professional. Of course, it's going to come out doing all the things. But no one's taking the time to work with the veterans. The veterans sit on a wait list while other lay people train these dogs. They're sending them to prisons. They're sending them to college campuses. They're sending them to their donors. They're selling naming rights. Like, you're telling me that these veterans can't even name their own dog?
That's pretty insane. Okay, so
I'm sorry.
No, not at all. So, question for you then: how can folks get involved? I know some organizations are like, "Hey, we just need money, man," But you talked about maybe needing some advocacy. Some people are like, should they be calling the VA? Should they be calling?
No.
Like,
leave the government out of it.
Okay, fair
we
enough.
do not need. I don't take any government money, and I never will. It's wrong. And look at it. Just look. I mean, you were in the military and you've been out. I mean, I still go to the VA even though I've got other healthcare options. Because I need to keep a pulse on what's going on. It's not working. Stop trying to pretend that it is. Right? And I can't change the government. I don't even want to try anymore. I don't need it because I got America. Right? We partnered with Blue Buffalo that runs an annual campaign at Walmart that generates $600,000 worth. That is like 60% of our annual operating budget. Think about all the other businesses out there, all the mom and pop stores. Like, just tell me what percentage you want to throw towards this, because the only thing holding us back truly is money. We have the digital platform. We are working with American Legions and VFWs because that gives us 18,001 clubhouses that are underutilized and in both rural and urban areas. Right? And then you've got all the training facilities. Plus you got public space where dogs and veterans and trainers are allowed to get together. We don't need any facilities, right? I don't have any employees. It's my consulting firm I manage it, which is basically me, my board. Other veterans. We've got ambassadors here, veterans that benefit. So one of the things that we ask is once you graduate the Life Buddy program, or if you don't want anything with the dog, you can go into the Life Force program. program. And that's what we're figuring out. That's what we're training you on peer-to-peer mentorship, right? You could host your own little room in our community. And you can put out there like what you're talking about, and people can join up and be there. I mean, we got people trying to do Bible classes, people trying to do about gaming club, or, golf, or all these things. They just want to hang, right? And it's literally like, I don't care if you're disabled or not disabled, or if you served in combat or not combat, or if you're pre or post 9/11. What we need is community. Yeah. So our core values are empowerment, purpose, innovation, and community. The empowerment piece is you tell me what you want in a dog in your life that's going to help you either improve or enhance your life. The purpose is that dog needs you, right? That dog is not going to be able to do things on its own, so you can't just quit, lock yourself in your room or in your basement or whatever. You're going to have to improvise, adapt, and overcome. The innovation, why are we using the technology that's at hand? Like, why are nonprofits still asking people to send their DD-214 over unsecured email with all their vital information? And then where are you storing that information? And how do I know that it's safe? Why don't you just get ID me? It verifies you. The VA uses it. Like, I don't even understand how DOD can't tell VA who the veterans are. That they have to pay millions of dollars to a private company to verify that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
and then the community piece, I'm sorry. It's the last one, and it's the most important.
You're good.
And here's the thing about that. I know most civilians won't understand what we've been through, and we really can't explain to veterans what we've been through. Like, I try to dumb it down. Joining the military is like painting by numbers. Literally anybody can do it if you actually stay committed to it. When we were overseas, I wasn't thinking about the people back home or the freedom, or especially not our government. I was thinking about the men to the left and right of me, right? And that's why we did it. We can reincarnate that here in America through community. And the best way, I think, for everybody to come together, all politics aside, all military, non-military aside, is that we all love dogs. 68% of American households have a dog in it. Dogs and humans have been working together for 35,000 years. Why have we made this so complicated?
And anybody who wants to get involved in the community side of the program,
Sierra Delta. Just get into SierraDelta.com.
There you have it.
That's right. Join the community. You got DME. We've got Sunday, the Sunday after Super Bowl, which is February 15th. We're doing a live Zoom session. Anybody can join. Come in. We'll have veterans talking about their experience, what they're doing, what their plans are for the future. I'll be there. We hold these constantly. Like, get in here, ask the questions. We are completely transparent. We're raising as much money as we can to provide as many dog training grants to as many vets that want it.
I love it, man. Thank you for stopping by.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. Thanks for helping us promote this.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And I hope we can work together. I know you guys are doing some great things too at Military 250.
We are, yeah.
I would love to get involved in whatever way we can.
100% you're in, man.
Perfect. Deal. Cheers, brother.